Hi, my name is Zora, and I'm here to talk to you about the Serbian language. I want to pass along what I've learned over the past few years in learning with a Serbian teacher. So the reason why I want to do that is because I found that I might have a different perspective on the way that I approach in learning and teaching that. And so hopefully you'll get some tips and tricks, and it'll make it a little bit easier for you to learn the language. The reason why I'm learning Serbian is because my dad was from Serbia. I have family there. I go there often. In fact, I'm going there in a few weeks and I can't wait. And when I'm there, I like to speak with my family, and I want to be able to speak with the people of Belgrade and wherever I am. And it just makes it a nicer traveling experience. So anyway, I hope that this is helpful for you. By the way, I just want you to know that I am no expert. I am not a professor of Serbian. I am an American who is learning how to speak Serbian. So this is really meant just to help you in your exploration, and hopefully hopefully it'll help you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with nouns and adjectives today. Of course, there are verbs, and we'll do that in another video. In the Serbian language, they have cases that are also called padaji, and the Serbian language has 7 cases. There are other languages like Russian and German that use cases, and we will address that in a different video. And there's something called word order. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. In the English language, we've got nouns and adjectives. So car, school, beer. We don't assign any gender to any of our nouns, but they do in the Serbian language, and lots of languages do that. So in the Serbian language, car, for example, is auto. This is a masculine noun. School is called škola. This sh, it's like sh, like sh. Škola. This is a feminine noun. This is considered a feminine noun. And beer is pivo, and this is considered a neutral noun. Neutral. Same thing with adjectives. I can say pretty, or big, or small. In the English language, there are no genders assigned to it, but in Serbian, the adjective will always match the noun. So the adjective will always look to the noun and match that. So for instance, if I say school, and if I say it's a big school, then in Serbian, I have the word school is škola, and the word for big is lep, but I want to make it a feminine, so I say lepa. This adjective is lepa, and this is škola. This is a feminine noun. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into it, because this may not make sense right now, naturally. Okay, so like I said, in the Serbian language, they have masculine nouns, feminine nouns, and neutral nouns. One more category, a subcategory, is that masculine nouns are divided into living and non-living nouns. It's not that way for feminine or neutral nouns, okay? So how do I know what's a masculine noun, a feminine noun, or a neutral noun? Because we don't think about that like that in English. So in general, masculine nouns end in a consonant. So they end in a consonant. Consonant. Can't spell the word. So like an R, or a D, or a T, or they have this SH, sh, Okay? So that's kind of the rule of thumb in general. In general, feminine nouns end with an A. And in general, neutral nouns end with an E or an O. So let's give some examples here. So let's focus on masculine nouns. So the word man in English, in Serbian, it's muž. M-U-Z with the V on top, and this makes a zh sound. So man is a living masculine noun. Another living masculine noun example is brother. The word brother in Serbian is brat, B-R-A-T. That's a living masculine noun. A non-living masculine noun is the word city. So grad, city is not a living thing. It's not alive, G-R-A-D. Or the word passport. In Serbian, it's pasoš. So notice the commonality in masculine nouns. They end with a consonant. They end with a consonant here. So in general, masculine nouns end in a consonant. Feminine nouns. In general, they end with an A. So the word woman in Serbian is žena. So it ends with an A. The word school is škola. So this S with the V, sh, S-K-O-L-A, škola. Or the word water in Serbian is voda, V-O-D-A. So again, feminine nouns generally end in A. Neutral nouns. Neutral nouns end either with an E or an O. So the word beer is pivo. The word lake is a neutral noun, jezero. And a J in Serbian is pronounced like a Y. So jezero. So both of these neutral nouns end in an O. The word wine in Serbian is vino. Again, another neutral noun. Name. So my name is Zora. Name is a neutral noun, and that's ime. I-M-E. Or the last one is egg, and that's jaje. J-A-J-E. Jaje. All right. Adjectives. Let's go to adjectives. Adjectives are also categorized as masculine, feminine, or neutral. So if I wanted to say big school, adjectives in Serbian, so this is my adjective, and this is my noun. So I've learned that škola is a feminine noun. Škola is a feminine noun. In Serbian, and like other languages, the adjective needs to also be feminine, right? So the word for big is velik. It's velik. In order to make this complement this feminine noun, then I need to add an A to it. So it's velika škola. Velika škola. If I wanted to say a big city, big city. City is a masculine noun. The word for city is grad. I know that this is a masculine noun because it ends with a consonant here. Okay. Now, the adjective big needs to also be masculine. The word for big is velik. So to say a big city, I would say velik grad. So there is a consonant that ends with my adjective and a consonant ending in my noun. Neutral. So let's see what this would look like neutral. So I'm going to have a neutral noun. So lake. I want to say I'm going to the big lake. So again, the adjective needs to complement the noun. The word for lake is jezero. I know that this is most likely a neutral noun because it ends in O. So neutral nouns end in either E or an O. The word for big is velik. So this adjective needs to also be neutral. So I'm going to say, I'm going to add an O to the end of this, veliko jezero. So notice in each one of these situations here with velika škola. So the adjective, I add an A to make this adjective feminine because this noun is feminine. Here with big city, city is a masculine noun, grad. That means the adjective needs to be masculine. So it needs to end in a consonant. So I just write velik. In my neutral noun, jezero, I want to say a big lake. The adjective, velik, I need to add an O so that it matches the neutral noun. So again, adjectives and nouns in Serbian adjectives and nouns are either masculine, and remember we have two kinds of masculine, living or non-living. So adjectives can be masculine, nouns can be masculine, adjectives can be feminine. Whoops, let me spell that word right. Feminine. Nouns can be feminine. And lastly, there are neutral nouns or neuter, neutral nouns and adjectives. Okay. So what we've addressed are those singular. It's a big school. So this is singular, a single school. A big city, a single city. A big lake, a single lake. There are also the plural. So this, everything that we talked about here is singular. Just like, whoops, can't spell today. Singular. So what about the plural of these? Well, in English, we would just say big schools, right? We would say big cities. We would say big lakes. It's a little bit different in the Serbian language. So let's take a look at that. Say, let's keep with our examples. Big schools. Okay, so this is plural. We're dealing with the plural of these adjectives and nouns. So remember, here's my adjective. Okay, school is my noun. Okay. So school is feminine. This is a feminine noun. And the word for school is škola. Škola. This is singular, škola. To make this plural, I'm going to change this this A to an E. So it would look like this. Škole. So this is the singular, and this is schools, plural. So with feminine nouns, the A turns into an E. That's a lot, I know. It's a lot. So let's try. And let's address this adjective. So adjective, the word for big is velik. Because this adjective needs to be feminine, I need to say velika. Okay, so I'm going to have a big school. Velika škola. Okay, that equals big school. But this is singular. So I need to make this plural. So again, plural of school is škole. I'm going to do the same thing with this adverb or adjective. I'm going to turn the A into an E to make this. This also, my adjective has to be plural. I know. We don't do that in English. We don't say Big's school. We don't do that. But in Serbian, if you have a plural noun, then the adjective needs to be plural. So, which is very different than English, right? We say, this means big schools. But if we wrote it out literally, this means bigs, this is plural, and then this means schools. So this is a little different, approach to our adjectives. Okay, so if the noun is plural, then the adjective also needs to be plural. And it's the same way for feminine nouns, masculine nouns, neutral nouns. So let's try another. Let's just stick with feminine nouns. Velika sestra. So the adjective is feminine and the noun is feminine. Okay? And this is singular. So what if I wanted to say big sisters? Plural. This is plural. In Serbian, my feminine, right, sestra is sister, and this is singular. So let's think about this. This is singular. The A changes to an E to make it plural. So I'll have sestra. Sestre. So this is plural. The A changes to E. This is sisters. Sisters. Sister, sisters. Okay? So, my big sister, velika sestra, singular, in plural, the adjective also needs to be a plural feminine adjective. So I'm going to change the A into an E, and I will say velike sestre. This is my big sisters. Big sisters. Okay? So the adjective must also be plural and feminine. And this always confused me when I was trying to learn this. I just thought, what? So this is one of the things that I wanted to pass along to you. So the same concept will happen with masculine nouns and neutral nouns. The adjective will always need to either be masculine or feminine or neutral, depending upon the noun. And depending upon the noun, it will need to be singular or plural. So the adjective does a lot of work. Okay? The adjective does a lot of work. So let's take a look at masculine nouns. So masculine plural nouns. So again, this is plural, but let's do masculine nouns and adjectives. Okay, so we want to say a big city. So city, we know, is grad. It ends in a D, so I know that this is masculine. Velik is masculine. So the adjective velik is matching the noun. So remember, this is my noun, this is my adjective, okay? And this is singular. To make them plural, so the way that I would make grad plural is a little different. So remember, I'm dealing with masculine nouns. So the thing that we have to remember is that there are, so masculine nouns are either living or non-living. Grad, that's a thing, it's non-living. So I'm going to put it under this category. Okay, grad. This is a masculine noun and this is singular. For non-living masculine nouns, the way that we make this plural is I'm going to add ov. So I'm going to make this grad and I'm going to add ovi, and that makes it plural. Okay, so grad is one city, gradovi is multiple cities. So this is cities, plural. Okay. If I want to say this is a big city, this is a velik grad. Velik ends in a consonant, grad ends in a consonant. So this adjective needs to match the noun, grad, by gender and by number. So velik, we need to make this plural. The way that I'm going to make this plural is I'm going to add an I. So velik turns into veliki gradovi. So what I thought was, oh, wouldn't this be velikovi? Like I thought, oh, velikovi gradovi, and that's not it. So this is the correct way. So this is big cities, big cities. So the plural of this adjective, you simply add an I, and for the noun, you add ov. The more you practice, I promise this will get easier. I promise. All right. So this is a non-living verb. Let's talk about another non-living verb. Let's try again. So plural, masculine noun. Masculine noun and adjectives. Okay. So let's say we're going to have a big day. We're going to have a big day. The word for day is done. So if I had to guess if this is masculine, feminine, or neutral, I would choose masculine because it ends in a noun, a consonant. Okay? And this is singular. So if I wanted to say a big day, we had a big day in Belgrade today, and it was so fun. The word for big, again, is velik. And the word for day is dan. And so I'm going to say, this is my singular velik dan. Velik, this adjective is singular, it's masculine, it ends in a consonant. This noun is singular and it ends in a consonant. So let's make this plural. We're going to have big days in Serbia, in Belgrade, in the next 3 days, right? So if I want to make it plural, what we just learned is to make this plural, I am going to add ovi, dan ovi. Danovi is days. This means days. This means a single day. Now my adjective, big, has to also be masculine and it has to be plural. So if I want to say big days in Belgrade, then I'm going to add an I to this adjective. Veliki danovi. This is big days. And this is again for a non-living masculine noun. Okay. It's a little bit different for a living masculine noun, but I just kind of wanted to show you an example of the non-living masculine noun. All right, let's take a look at the living plural, the masculine noun living. Masculine noun and adjective. And we're talking about living examples, right? So let's say my big brother. So we learned a little bit earlier that the word for brother is brat. I know that brat is masculine because it ends in a T. Ends in a T, which is a consonant. And I know that the word for big is velik. I know that my adjective, big or velik, needs to also be masculine, so it's ending in a consonant. Okay? So my big brother, velik brat, this is singular. If I want to say my big brothers, plural, this is a living masculine noun. So this is going to look a little different. We're not going to say bratovid. We just simply, to make this plural, we want to say brothers, we will say brati. Whoops. Here, sorry. Brati. B-R-A-T-I. And that's plural. That's brothers. This is brothers. Okay. Now my adjective, velik, big, also has to be masculine, and it also has to be plural, and it has to be like a living adjective. Luckily, this is very simple, and all we do is we add an I, just like with the non-masculine. So this is veliki brati. Veliki brati. Okay. So this is my singular, veliki brat. And this is my plural, big brothers. Big brothers is veliki brati. Okay. This is my living masculine nouns. So for the non-living, just remember, we generally add an OVI. But if it's, so this is non-living masculine nouns. We generally add OV. But for masculine nouns that are living, we just generally add a single I. Okay, and for the adjective, we just add an I. It's the same. Veliki danovi or veliki brati. We just add an I. All right, and let's do neutral nouns. So plural neutral nouns. So neutral nouns, oops, remember they can end in an E or an O, and then our adjectives. So if we want to say, oh, this is a big wine. Yeah, I want a big wine, like a Cabernet, for instance. A big wine. Wine is vino. I know that vino is a neutral noun because it ends in an O. Okay? It either ends in an O or an E in general. And we know that the word big is velik, but we need to make velik neutral, so it needs to end in an O as well. All right, so veliko vino. So this is singular. This is a big wine. Singular. All right, to make vino plural, I need to make it plural. The O is going to change to an A. So this will change to vina. So this is wines. This is plural. Wines. So if I want to say vino, this is one wine. This is more than one wine. To make now, let's look at my adjective. To make my adjective neutral and to make it plural, remember, I'm going to have velik. And what I need to do is it needs to match this. So it's going to be velika. So my adjective is going to change to reflect my neutral plural noun. This is my neutral plural adjective. Velika vina. So this is wines, my big wines. My big wines. I know this is kind of, a different way of thinking. So if we said big beer, beer is pivo. I know that this is neutral because it ends in an O. Big is velik. To make velik neutral, because my noun is neutral, I need to add an O to it. So veliko pivo. Veliko pivo. This is singular. Now if I want to say big beers, plural, I need to change the end. So the O will change into an A. Piva. And this is beers. This is plural. beers. My adjective needs to be neutral, and it also needs to be plural. My O will change to an A because it needs to be velika. It needs to be a neutral. It needs to match my neutral noun. This is my neutral plural noun. So my adjective needs to be neutral, velika piva. This is my neutral singular adjective, veliko pivo. So the adjective is the one that changes, right? Changes from singular and neutral, o to a. Here it changes o to a, right? When it's feminine, when I have my feminine big sister, sister is feminine, it ends in an A. Big sister, velika sestra. Notice that my adjective changes, velike sestre. The end of it, the A changes to an E, and my noun, my A changes to an E, and that's plural. And we'll do other just examples. When we just keep doing these examples over and over again, it really will help, because right now it might be kind of a word soup in your mind, okay? And then masculine, remember, we have living and non-living. So if I have living, like brat, I have velik brat, but if I want to make this living masculine noun plural, it will be, I will add an I to the end, brati, and my adjective will be also plural, and I add an I, veliki brati. Last one, if it's non-living, like dan or like grad, my non-living masculine nouns, like velik dan, my plural version will be, I add an ovi, danovi, and my adjective will still just have an I, veliki danovi. And this is big days. We'll just keep doing at the next video. I'm just going to give examples of this over and over and over again. And it's just learning vocabulary, number one, and learning about adjectives and nouns, singular and plural, and you will get the hang of it. All right, that's it for now. Thanks.